Deputy Chief Whip of the Majority Party. She's attending the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. She's unable to log in here. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. We know that. Any other?
Deputy Speaker?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm just alerting you that I need to exit the meeting at 9:30.
Okay, we hope will be done. Members can be disciplined when they want to. Yeah. Not that they are ill-disciplined, but generally they, yeah. Okay, thank you, Brett. In the absence of any other apology, we proceed to the next item. Can we indicate approval of the agenda in the event there isn't anything else? There are matters that we will raise under programming and possibly under matters arising where appropriate, but those will fit properly under those. Can we have a mover?
DS, it's Tasha. I'd like to
Yes,
move
Tasha.
the adoption of the minutes of the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Sheikh Imam supports. Thank you very much, honorable members. Let's proceed to the minutes. Let's go through it. Please, mount the staff. Any corrections? Go ahead. The next page. No corrections. Next page. No corrections. Go to the next page. That is. Next page. Yeah, okay. Members, we assume there are no corrections, that you've read the minutes and there are no corrections. Can we have a mover? Can we have a mover?
My hand is up. My name is Penny Machodina. I move for the adoption. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party. And who seconds? Who seconds?
Steve Swart,
Yes, it's
seconds.
Tasha.
Swart, Honorable Steve Swart, seconds.
Morning, Deputy Speaker.
Let's go ahead. Then the minutes are appropriately adopted. Matters arising, Adv Xaso, can you take us through any matters arising that you may have on your list?
Deputy Speaker, thank you so much, and good morning, honorable members. The first one is on the Ad hoc Joint Committee. The committee has since met and elected the core chairpersons. So the committee is now busy with its mandate. And the second one relates to the Electoral Act. We have applied for extension of the time frames. And the matter is currently before the Constitutional Court, and the court has directed the parties involved in the matter to make written submissions, and Parliament has since made its submission. The issue relating to the Notaries Board, I'm advised that the committee has had a meeting on the matter, and it has scheduled further meetings to discuss the matter. Those are the issues, Deputy Speaker, that I would like to report on. Yeah.
Okay. I see no indication of a hand. Is there any hand on matters arising? If none, thank you. Let's go to the next item on the agenda, which is report of committee section. Advocate Tau.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, honorable members and colleagues. Our report starts at slide number 3. On this slide, the PC on Justice and Criminal Services will finalize the prevention of hate crimes and hate speech on the 8th of June, with deliberation taking place as indicated on the slide. And the PC on Social Development is planning to finalize the fundraising amendment bill on the 1st of June. Next slide. On this slide, the PC on Justice and Correctional Services is planning to finalize the Cannabis for Private Purposes Bill on the 8th of June, with deliberations indicated on the slide. And the PC on Health passed the motion of desirability on the National Health Insurance Bill on the 8th, which is yesterday. Next slide. The PC on Transport revised its adoption of the Economic Regulation of Transport Bill from the 24th to the 3rd term. That is due to the non-availability of the state law advisor who was booked off sick, and the PC on Public Works could not revise its program on expropriation bill due to the budget vote processes, and the PC on social development also could not finalize the Chairman's Amendment Bill as planned on the 18th, but the committee is still deliberating because there are still issues to consider. Next slide. The PC on Environment, Forestry and Fisheries will be on public hearings in Free State from the 27th up to 29th on National Field and Forest Fires Amendment Bill. The PC on Justice and Correctional Services is planning to finalize the Land Code Bill on the 8th of June, and deliberations are also indicated on the slide. Next slide. The PC on Human Settlements is currently busy with public hearings on Housing Consumer Protection Bill. The committee will be in Gauteng on the 27th and in KZN from the 3rd to the 5th. The PC on Minerals is going to have briefings on upstream petroleum resource development bill. And the PC on Transport postponed deliberations on railway safety bill due to changes in parliamentary program. And next slide. The PC on Transport also revised the National Land Transport Amendment Bill, the adoption from the 17th to the 31st, also because of the changes in parliamentary program to accommodate the mini plenaries. The next slide. The PC on Police also revised its adoption on Criminal Law Forensic Procedure Amendment Bill because of the lack of quorum and also the non-availability of the minister on the date that was preferred because of cabinet commitments. Next slide. The matter before PC on Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development, PC on Employment and Labor, that is the living conditions of farm workers. The provisional date is the 27th of 29, that is the public hearings in Northern Cape, but they are still waiting for the approval from appropriate authorities. Next slide. The appointment of Chairman of Lotteries Board, Mr. Xaso, has already reported about this during the matters arising from the minutes. Next slide. The Committee on Section 194 revised its program on the 11th of May, and on the slide there are new dates and activities. Next slide. The Ad hoc Committee on Floods, Disaster Relief and Recovery met last Friday to appoint the co-chairpersons, and the committee had already adopted the program yesterday. On the slide are the dates for the planned oversight visit, briefings, and other deliberations. Next slide. The PC on youth, women, persons with a disability has received the notice for statutory appointments for Commission for Gender Equality. The committee is still to schedule this activity. The next slide. Next slide. The PC on transport could not finalize the petition from Ukahlamba local municipality residents, and the date has been revised to the third term. The reason is because of the changes in parliamentary program. The next slide. This concludes our report, Deputy Speaker. Calebo.
Thank you very much. Can we have the bills reporting and then we'll take the discussions of both? Dr. Mbata.
Good morning, Honorable Deputy Speaker and Honorable members. Our report will start on slide 2, where we report on the South African Post Bank Limited Amendment Bill, which was introduced on Tuesday as B12 of 2022 and is a proposed Section 75 bill. The bill was referred to the Portfolio Committee on Communications for further processing. On slide 5, 2 bills were passed and are to be sent to the President for assent. The first one is the Division of Revenue Bill, B6 of 2022, and its official second language is isiZulu. And the second one is the Employment Equity Amendment Bill, B14B of 2020. The official second language of this bill is Xitsonga. Lastly, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the NSWP passed the Compensation for Occupational Injuries Amendment Bill, and the bill was passed with amendments. And the bill was returned to the Portfolio Committee on Labour for consideration and report. That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the committee report section and the bills report, can we take discussions? Who would like to comment?
Deputy Speaker, it's Tasha.
Tasha, please go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, and thank you. Good morning to everybody. Deputy Speaker, there is a treaty between South Africa and the WHO, and that treaty should have come to us. I know we don't need to ratify a treaty. We take notice of treaties that are signed. But I believe that that treaty has now been signed and ratified. And I was wondering if the NA table would be so kind as to produce a copy of it for the parties to have a look at, and that we have a copy for our records, that we can see exactly what the treaty between us and the WHO contains. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That will be done. Any other comment? But Dr. Xaso, please comment on this matter later. But let's proceed. Any other comment?
We have two hands. We have three hands, Deputy Speaker. Honorable Singh, Honorable Swart, and Honorable Mkhal.
Okay, in that order, please, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker, and good morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning to you and all our colleagues and our administrative team. Chairperson, thank you to Advocate Tau for the presentation. I note that there are a number of pieces of legislation that he indicated that he received reports from the committee that they would complete in June, first week of June, etc., etc. And I know it's not within his purview, but I just want to know if Programming Committee and others will be considering tabling these bills for debate before Parliament, before we rise, because we don't want to be just pushed with a whole lot of bills before we rise. So if they can respond to that a little later on, I'll appreciate it. But I thought I'll raise it now, since we received the report from committees. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Swart.
Morning, Deputy Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity. I just want to add to what Honourable Mazzoni has indicated. And whilst we appreciate the treaty, but the issue actually relates to proposed amendments to the International Health Regulations of 2005, which are to be considered at the World Health Assembly later this month. And I think there's a lot of interest, a lot of concern about that. And so in addition to that WHO treaty, if we could get some information on this, the International Health Regulation amendments at the World Health Assembly, which is to take place later this month. And I do appreciate that that is an executive function, but it will come to Parliament for ratification at a later stage, as was indicated by the Honourable Minister Pandor. I'm sorry, my connection failed slightly there, Deputy Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Maybe we will discuss this, but actually I agree that we should possibly consider requesting the minister to do a statement on the matter so that parties can then respond to it. Any other comments?
Deputy Speaker.
Okay, before that, it's Mkhal. Yes, go ahead, ma'am. Sorry, I shouldn't.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Deputy Speaker, I seek a clarity, Deputy Speaker. My connection is very bad as well. I seek a clarity. I heard Mr. Tau saying that there is a certain committee who couldn't proceed with its work because the minister was not available. Maybe I heard it wrong. Can I get a clarity on that one?
Oh yeah, about the minister, the date that was chosen, the minister not being able to be present for some reason. Yes. Okay. Have we got? Is there anybody else would like to ask so that we give for responses? Nobody. Let's proceed. Advocate Tau and Adv Xaso, where you can please respond now.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Yes, that was the Criminal Law Forensic Procedure Amendment Bill. On the day that the committee was planning to meet, there were many apologies, so the meeting was postponed. Now, the new date that was proposed, the minister was not available. That is what led to the not availability of the minister without speaking for the minister. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Any other comment? Any other response from you, Adv Tau, or Adv Xaso?
Deputy Speaker, I will have to get the relevant info on the two treaties, and it seems that the WHO one was submitted recently, but I need to confirm that. So okay. We'll obtain this information and write to the honourable members. It has to happen before. Thank you.
All right. All right. No, thank you very much. Now, having dealt with those, can we now go to the programming? Melisoma.
Thank you very much, Honourable Chair. I had a challenge with my connectivity, but I'm sorted.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker and Honourable Speaker and honourable members and colleagues. Our report will cover, will highlight the changes as well as talk to it. However, Honourable Deputy Speaker, if you may allow us not to talk to the program as it is, but lay the foundation in terms of the skeleton that is still the same. We are at mini plenaries, but I must highlight these few points before I go through the week 15 onwards, Honourable Deputy Speaker. That there has been a request or a notice that the Public Works and communication scheduled for...
Can Honourable Solma switch off the video?
My apology, Honourable Deputy Speaker, and thank you, Honourable Chief Whip of the Majority Party. Thank you so much.
Okay.
With that...
Chief Whip, we are from her seat there, but it's okay. Let's proceed.
That's her responsibility. Thank you. Chair, my apologies to delay the meeting, Honourable Chair. Is that then we're saying that in terms of the 26th of May, there's a change there because the committee is not ready in terms of Public Works and Communications report. Secondly, Chair, that we would like to highlight for when we go through the program, which will be in red, is the Africa Day theme that has been agreed to, having followed proper processes, which says strengthening resilience and sustainability in nutrition and food security on the Africa. The third one for noting, Chair, is the swap of the date with the Deputy President of the 2nd of June, which has been agreed. Then the Deputy President will appear on the 2nd of June, and then the social services will be on the 8th, or in the next quarter, as it were, from the 2nd to the 8th. That will be the swap of the date for the DP. Then social services, which was scheduled, then will be given a slot in our 3rd quarter that will follow. The fourth part is that, which is the, okay, no, let me not talk to this.
Sorry, Deputy Speaker.
Yes.
Could they move the slides, please, as she speaks? Thank you.
Yeah, they are not moving. I'm wondering why that is that.
No, they won't move the slide because I'm highlighting for the notice. Then I will start going to week 15, Honorable Chair, if I may. But I thought to prevent questions, I must highlight the changes and the rationale thereof the changes.
Except that you are not showing us the changes. For example, I was looking about the 25th of May and so on, but it's not there. So that's the reason why we would like to do that. You can do it together, May. You can do it together. My
apology then. Let me quickly then go to the week 15, Chair. We are in visual sittings of mini plenaries. And I must confirm that, as we said previously, that the dates are not going to change. They're still the same, and also what has been populated. I would request that we move to week 16. Week 8, yes, thank you very much. It's still the same, which is week 16 as well. We've got mini plenaries. However, Chair, to highlight that on the 25th, we will have a visual sitting plenary, which has been there in terms of the condolences of the late, our Honorable Sokacha, may his soul rest in peace, followed by the debate on Africa Day. I've already highlighted the theme, but for completeness, let me read the theme for the day on Africa Day: strengthening resilience on sustainability in nutrition and food on security on the Africa continent. May we proceed to the Thursday, if we may. Thursday, it will be mini plenaries, which will continue, as I said earlier on, by highlighting what has been added as populated, which is item number 3. But probably let me start with the first one. First one is subject for discussion on the PAC motion, which is and also followed by the consideration of the Higher Education Portfolio Committee as tabled. And the third one, which is in red, is consideration of the report of the same Committee of Higher Education and Science and Innovation on Commission for Gender Equality report, which will be followed up by the hearings of gender transformation and tertiary institutions. Then the rest is still the same, Chair. If you may allow me to proceed in terms of time, but to highlight the points, item number 6 on the same day, which is a consideration of the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development on their oversight to Perishable Products Export Control Board and District 6 in Western Cape Province on the 29th of March of the current year. We then proceed, Chair, to week 17. I will only talk to the red points, Chair, for the completeness, which will be then after the mini plenaries. Week 17 would be normal, our hybrid plenary sittings. On Tuesday, the 31st, we will have the normal standard sitting of the member statements and legislation, which is still going to be populated as they get finalized by the various committees and ATC accordingly. On point 3, which will be followed by the consideration of the report of the Higher Education, Science and Innovation, or their oversight report on Northern Cape. I'm reading this because it's what has been added, Chair. May we proceed? The rest is the same, Chair, in terms of the weeks that follows, in terms of the reports and any other matters that needs to be populated. Safe to say, as we follow the other weeks, Chair, we shall endeavor to populate the items that are below the line, such as the bills that have been coming from various committees, which we have done that, Chair. Let's go down. Probably let me just deal with June 8, which is worth noting that, which I spoke to earlier on, and hence your point, Chair, that the Deputy President was meant to come before the House on the 2nd. However, he has swapped with the cluster. Then he will be appearing before the committee, the House, on the 8th of June. Okay, let's also highlight the one on the 9th, which will be we'll start with the budget votes, but starting by the debate vote 1, which is the presidency votes, then the other votes then will follow, Honorable Chair. If you may allow me, because there are no changes, the rest is populated, is that it's worth noting. Let's go to the end of the slides. That then on the 20th to the 15th of August will be the constituency period. But I would like also for the noting of the committee that following week after the House have rise for the constituency period, there will be a youth parliament which is proposed during the week of the 20th to the 27th of June within that week, but the modalities and the specifics in terms of what form and the shape, which is likely will be the same in the previous years, but will be populated for members to be aware of. But it is being put there so that the committee is aware that there will be other committees and sectors that will be working during the constituent period, which they did get the permission, like the Ethics Committee and other joint standing committees, as it were. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, before I let you comment on the programming, let me just say the following things. Informed from the Office of the Speaker that we are glad to announce that the Executive Authority is now in a position to recommend for consideration by the Houses of Parliament, in other words, the NA and NCOP, Mr. Xolile George as Secretary of Parliament with effect from the 1st of June 1922. This is the outcome of a process that involved a multi-party panel. We are confident that we have the right candidate for the job. And on behalf of the Executive Authority, I wish to thank the honorable members who served in that panel and participated in the recruitment process. I'm informed that the Chief Whips Forum has also agreed that the relevant motion be considered by the National Assembly on Wednesday, the 25th. Mr. George's contract will be for 5 years. The next matter is to announce that the Speaker has acceded to a request by General Holomisa on behalf of the opposition parties for a meeting with leaders of opposition parties. The meeting will take place on Wednesday, 25th. And then just to say that the honorable members would already be aware that a letter has been received from the President bringing to our attention part 4 of the report of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture, corruption and fraud in the public sector, including organs of state. The letter from the President was announced in the ATC on 17 May. Please check it if you didn't. The administration, including legal services, is going through the report in order to identify matters that may need consideration by relevant structures of Parliament. We would just like to clarify that the final report will be submitted to the President on 15 June, and the President will have 4 months thereafter receiving the report to submit it to Parliament. And this matter has been corrected in terms of the timelines. This will be done. So those are the issues that I thought partly reflect that. Let's have discussion on the program.
Deputy Speaker, you have the following hands, sir. Honorable Mulder, Honorable Kwakhube, Honorable Papo, and the Chief Whip of the Majority Party.
Okay. Can we have you do that in that order, members? Please go ahead.
Deputy Speaker, maybe before the honorable members take the platform,
Yes.
I want to clarify that the sitting of 25 May is a hybrid sitting. It's not a virtual sitting. Thank you.
Okay, yes. Okay, all right. All right, thank you very much. I hope that clarity is received well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Deputy Speaker. In lighter vein, your announcement with regard to the appointment of the new secretary, you just missed 100 years. You referred to 1st of June 1922. But that's just in lighter vein. I think
an entire century. How can I do that?
You missed a century. Yes, sir.
King George.
The first point
yes, for the formation of the Communist Party and the Rand Revolt, yeah.
The first point I wanted to refer to Chairperson, Mr. Xaso cleared that up. I wanted to make sure that if the 25th is a hybrid session, Mr. Xaso confirmed on that. The second point I would like to ask is on Thursday, the 26th, I see we've got mini plenaries, and it seems that the mini plenaries are going to deal with different committee reports. I'm not sure if that is the process. Have we done that? Is that what we're going to do? To discuss committee reports in mini plenaries? It just seems a little bit strange to me. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's get the next.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. It is the 19th of May today, 2022, just in case you needed a quick reminder, and not 1922.
I do have a calendar. Thank you very much, nevertheless.
I have a couple of questions, Deputy Speaker. Just yes, on the sitting of the 25th, I am assuming programming hasn't inserted the motion as had been discussed, and that it will perhaps be included in the program for that day, because we had discussed yesterday that it would be on as part of the sitting for that day. And then I know that Parliament has really, nothing, that there's no silver bullet to this, but I do want to flag that stage 4 load shedding is causing massive disruptions for our hybrid sittings, and for our virtual sittings, and we have a number of them that still have to go. So I am very much concerned about the quality of those and the ability of our members to be able to participate. And then lastly, Deputy Speaker, thank you for the announcements from the Office of the Speaker, and the announcement about the Secretary to Parliament. I wanted to find out, the Speaker had circulated a letter to the Chief Whips earlier on Sunday, in fact, just announcing on the fact that a number of members had been referred to the Ethics Committee. I wanted to find out if there had been any kind of detail in terms of when that was done, just as a follow-up to that. Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Next.
I suspect it's me, Chair. Can I come in?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, let me welcome the report from Programming Whip as well as your announcement.
Honourable Majority, the Speaker is on the platform, right? I'm standing in for her deputy.
Yes, thank you very much. Let me welcome the report by Programming Whip as well as your announcements. Thank you very much. On the issue of the 25th, we have agreed as a Chief Whips Forum yesterday that the appointment of the Secretary for Parliament, when it is tabled, the parties will be allowed to do declarations. So we agreed on that. Two, I want to further welcome the correspondence that we received from the Office of the Speaker with regard to Part 3 of the state capture report. And as far as that letter is concerned, it's not a number of members that are going to be referred to ethics. It's 2 members, and that report is very detailed. Why 2 members instead of 6 or 7 members? And we welcome that, and we know that there are 2 houses involved in this already. The Speaker has already taken a step on the NA member that is implicated, so the NCOP will do the same. So, Chair, on the issue of load shedding, it is true that most members are affected by load shedding. However, yesterday, as the Chief Whips Forum, we've discussed this matter in terms of the upgrade of tools of trade for members, that it must also take into cognizance that whatever new tools that members are going to get, it must also take note and take care of load shedding so that members can be connected, as we are aware that we're still experiencing shortage or in terms of venues, hence we're unable to come back in full force as members. However, we are saying members must try at their level best to be connected. It is very much inconveniencing. However, the situation that we find ourselves as Parliament of South Africa is quite challenging, but there's nothing we can do at the moment. We'll try to maximize connectivity wherever we are. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next.
Honorable Singh, sir. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I thought it was Honorable Papo, but thank you, because his hand is up. Thank you for the report from Programming Committee, and I'm not going to repeat what the other colleagues have said. Safe to say, in terms of external bodies on the top, the JSC is due to sit on the 20th of June to consider the President's letter, which he sent to the JSC to interview current President of the SCA, President Maya, for the position of Deputy Chief Justice. So we list the external body, so that's the 20th of June. Secondly, on the question of the mini plenaries on the 26th, I noticed in the first mini plenary, they say PAC, but in the second one, they just give a name, BS Yabo or something like that. Normally, we put the name of the political party, so if that can be corrected. And then thirdly, Deputy Speaker, I think the point I made earlier about bills that will come before us in this term, we don't want them just to come through, tell us the day before, because the programming whip said, well, we will try and populate these bills. So I just hope by next week, the try and populate means we are going to have the following bills, which are going to be debated by the House, so we are adequately prepared. Thank you very much.
Okay. Honorable Papo.
The Chief Whip has covered some of the issues I wanted to raise, but I also wanted to raise that issue of the other issue of the lighter note, that 1922 was the year of the Rand Revolt and the year after the formation of the Communist Party of South Africa.
The Communist Party member wouldn't forget that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll go and buy Jinko Biloba for my memory and proper reading as well. Honorable, who's next?
Kalipi.
Kalipi, please go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Thanks for the update from the Speaker's office. Unfortunately, in the Chief's Forum, I had to log out because I was traveling, but my colleagues were there. But now, since there is an update regards to the Secretary to Parliament, I just want to get a clarity in terms of the deputy, which is Miss Baby Chawa's contract. Is it still on? Or because he has been acting for the longest time. So now I just want to understand, as her original place was the Deputy Secretary to Parliament, what is the status of her contract? Is it still on, or or what is the status, Deputy Speaker? Just for clarity purpose. Thank you.
Okay. Next, who's next?
It's me to provide responses where I can.
Okay, please go ahead and do so.
Just in relation to mini plenaries, yes, Honorable Mulder, we have debated committee reports, but we don't take decisions in mini plenaries. So it's just a debate, and decisions are taken in a plenary. And decisions will be taken without declarations. That has been the understanding previously. So that's the arrangement. The next one, the referral of the matter to the Ethics Committee, was done on the 4th of May. And as clarified from the NA1 member, as recommended in the legal opinion. And the NCOP, I just don't know whether that has been done yet from the side of the NCOP, but the Speaker did convey the message to the NCOP. But 2 members, in terms of the legal opinion, are meant to be referred to the Ethics Committee. On the appointment of the Secretary, declarations of vote will be made. There was a request yesterday, so that's the arrangement. I think so that is all that I can respond to at this point. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any gap?
Yes, what was asked by Honorable Mkhal on the status of the position of acting secretary. That's the only thing that has not been responded to.
Yeah, okay, let me just say this from where I'm sitting. That my understanding is that the position of Deputy Secretary remains her position that she assumes. When her contract ends, I don't have that detail, so we can come back and communicate that to members for clarity within the next today or tomorrow. That can be done quickly. I don't have that detail here. Okay.
Speaker, can I come back? Yeah.
Sorry?
Can I come back, Deputy Speaker?
Yes, go ahead. Do come back.
No, thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. I'll wait for your response on that regard. But however, I would like to remind you, Deputy Speaker, do you remember you still owe me when I was raising a question 2 minutes
you were breaking there. Can you repeat it, please?
I hope on this one you're going to definitely come.
Hey, reception
I welcome your response, Deputy Speaker, and yourself to committee. Deputy Speaker.
I want to hear your second question. What else did I promise you?
Am I audible now, Speaker? Deputy Speaker?
Now, as you are speaking, yes, you are.
Yeah, there was a saga whereby I asked the Minister of Copter a question, and during the question and answer session,
I remember.
The minister said, raise this issue here. You committed to come back to me, even till you never come to me. I hope on this one of the Deputy Secretary.
No, we'll come back to you. I don't know how that happened. Things do sometimes fall between the cracks, but we'll do that. We'll give you a response to those. Okay. All right. Any other comments, members, on the program? Melisoma, do you have any comments to make?
Chair, not necessarily so, because Mr. Xaso have responded to, and then they updated where there are omissions, because I've just noticed that the one that has been circulated, it does reflect the motion that I think Honorable I think it's Honorable Mudla, the DA one, Kwahube. It is there, but it will be after the adoption or acceptance of this program, then we'll clean it up to make sure that the areas in terms of which are not clear, they are populated, as well as the bills that are going to be populated, because in our day before yesterday technical committee, we did identify those bills. I think it's just a human error omission, but they will be by end of the today be populated and members will know which those bills are. But most of them are those ones who are below the line. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, honorable members. There are no, yes, honorable, yes,
the honorable speaker would like to, has a hand up. We wish to recognize Speaker of the National Assembly.
Okay. Oh, okay. Madam Speaker, please speak, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker and honorable members. There's a question raised by Honorable Mkhal about the contract of the Acting Secretary of Parliament. The contract of the Acting Secretary of Parliament ends in June 2023. Chairperson in that post of the deputy. Thank you. I thought I should.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable members, in the absence of any other earth-shattering announcement, I declare the meeting closed. Thank you.
Thank you, 1922.
Thank you very much.
The year of the revolt by white men.
This is May Day month anyway, so
absolutely.